Hi there. If you or your spouse earns below the personal allowance, you could be entitled to £252 back from HMRC, and most people aren't claiming it.
Hi there, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a UK tax break that could genuinely put hundreds, maybe even over £1,000 right back into your pocket. It's called the Marriage Allowance. And you know what? It's one of the most underclaimed benefits in the entire country. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what it is, who qualifies, and most importantly, how you can claim it for the 2026-27 tax year. All right, let's jump right in. So, let's get straight to it. Why should you stick around for the next few minutes? Well, simple. There's potentially free cash on the table, and it's surprisingly easy to get your hands on it if you know how.
What if I told you that you could be eligible for a lump sum tax rebate of up to a cool £1,008? Like right now? That is the total potential cash you could get by backdating a claim for the marriage allowance over the last 4 years.
Now, what's absolutely wild here is just how many people this affects. HMRC reckons that about 4.2 million couples are eligible for this tax break, but only about 2.4 million are actually claiming it. That leaves at least 1.7 million couples missing out on this money year after year. Let's make sure you're not one of them.
Okay, so to really get how this works, we need to start with the basics. I know, it sounds a bit like tax jargon, but the concept is actually really straightforward once you see it. We're going to build it from the ground up.
The whole UK tax system is pretty much built on this one number, the personal allowance. For the current tax year, it's £12,570. The best way to think of it is like your own personal tax-free bubble. Any money you earn up to this amount is all yours, completely tax-free. And this is the key that unlocks the whole marriage allowance.
So, here's the magic trick. If one person in a couple isn't using their full tax-free personal allowance, the marriage allowance lets them give a slice of it to their partner. And the amount you can transfer is fixed by law at exactly 10%, which, for this tax year, works out to a very neat £1,260.
Let me paint you a picture of how this works in real life. Imagine partner A is a part-time writer, earning about £9,000 a year. See, they've got thousands of pounds of their allowance just sitting there, unused. They can transfer £1,260 of it over to partner B, who's a teacher, earning £40,000. That extra allowance shields more of partner B's income from tax and whittles their final tax bill down by £252. And just like that, a simple transfer means real cash saved for the family.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Financial experts are always highlighting this as a massively overlooked opportunity. As one financial journalist put it, a simple form could unlock more than £1,000 in cash, yet millions of couples are missing out. It just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? A simple action, a significant reward, and way too many people just don't know about it.
Right, so you get the what and the why. Now for the most important part. Are you actually eligible? Don't worry, there's a really clear checklist that acts like a filter to help you figure it out in no time.
Here are the 4 key rules. First things first, you have to be legally married or in a civil partnership. Simply living together, I'm afraid, doesn't count for this one. Second, one of you, that's the person transferring the allowance, has to earn less than the £12,570 personal allowance. Third, the other partner must be a basic rate taxpayer, so their income is somewhere between $12,571 and $50,270. And finally, this allowance is for couples where both of you were born on or after April 6, 1935.
Okay, here's a pro tip, and this one is super important. When you're checking those income limits, you have to look at your total taxable income. We're not just talking about your salary here. That annual bonus, any side cash from freelance work, pension payments, even rental profits, it all gets added to the pot. Forgetting this is such a common mistake, and it can make people think they aren't eligible when they are, or vice versa.
Now hold on a second if you're in Scotland, because this is a big one for you. Because Scotland has its own income tax bands, the goalposts for the higher earning partner are a bit different. Their income has to fall between £12,571 and £43,662. That is a much lower ceiling than in the rest of the UK, so Scottish taxpayers, please be extra careful when you're checking those numbers.
So, you've gone through the checklist and you think you qualify. Fantastic! So what's next? Let's walk through the exact steps you need to take. Think of this as your action plan to get that cash.
But wait, before we get into the nitty-gritty of applying, let's just circle back to that really powerful detail from the start. HMRC lets you backdate your claim for all the years you were eligible, up to a maximum of 4 previous tax years. This is how you turn that $252 a year into a massive one-off payment of over $1,000.
So if you apply during this current 2026/27 tax year, you can claim for every year right back to 2022/23. As you can see, each of those years adds another £252 to your potential refund, which all adds up to that fantastic grand total of £1,008. Not bad for just a few minutes of your time, is it?
Okay, you've got two main ways to do this, but honestly, one is a clear winner. The route we strongly recommend is online, through the gov.uk website. It's by far the fastest and easiest way. Now, what's crucial is that the application must be made by the lower earning partner. You can also apply by post using a form called MATCF. It's slower and you'll both need to sign it, but it's a vital option for anyone who can't or doesn't want to get online.
So, what happens next? What does this actually look like on your payslip? Well, HMRC will update your PAYE tax codes. The person getting the allowance will probably see their code change to 1383M. The M basically stands for Marriage Allowance Received. The person transferring it will get 1131N, with N for a negative transfer. And if you're in Scotland, these will just have an S at the front. And the best part, once it's all set up, it rolls over automatically every single year. Now, that automatic renewal sounds great, right? Set it and forget it. But, and this is a big but, it comes with a serious responsibility. This isn't a benefit you can just switch on and forget about if your life changes. It is absolutely crucial you understand the fine print. Listen up, because this part is non-negotiable. You are legally required to tell HMRC and cancel the allowance if your situation changes. That could be a divorce or separation, or maybe one of you gets a pay rise that pushes you outside those income brackets. If you don't cancel, you'll be underpaying tax, and trust me, HMRC will eventually catch up with you and you'll get a bill you weren't expecting. Now, in the very sad event that a spouse or civil partner passes away, there are special rules. A claim can still be made after they've died for the tax years where you were both eligible. Because the process is a little different, the best thing to do is to contact the HMRC helpline directly for sensitive and specific guidance on how to do that.
Whew, we've covered a lot of ground there. What the allowance is, who can get it, and exactly how to apply. So let's bring it all together and figure out your immediate next steps.
Okay, if your brain is buzzing with all this info, let's boil it down to the 3 key things you need to do. First, carefully check both of your total incomes against those specific thresholds for your part of the UK. Second, make sure the lower earner makes the claim, and do it online if you can. And third, the golden rule. Always tick the boxes to backdate your claim. That's where the real financial win is hiding.
And of course, we have to do the quick disclaimer. This explainer provides general guidance based on the rules for the 2026/27 tax year. It's not a substitute for professional financial advice that's tailored to your unique situation. And please always remember that tax rules can and do change.
So, the final question is this. Could an extra £1,008 make a real difference to your family right now? If you think you might be eligible, your next step is to head straight to the gov.uk website. And if you found this explainer helpful and you want more clear, simple breakdowns of UK tax topics, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. For anyone who needs a bit more help, my tax accountant is here and all our details are on the screen.